Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the First Fruits Stock Club podcast show, whatever you want to call it. The name of today's show is your financial doorway, right? So often in life we wander, right? We search around looking for answers when the solution is just right in front of us. That's all we have to do is look at it. The solution is right in front of us. But what it takes is an open mind and a willingness to look at things differently, look at a different point of view. Okay? And that door, when we open that door and we have an open mind and we open that door, it can unleash a world of new opportunities for us. Today's show is about the doorway, your financial doorway. And to open that financial doorway is this simple tool that I'm going to discuss today. A small tool, a simple tool. And the tool is a brokerage account, right? Simple. You can open up a brokerage account in less than 2 minutes. You go into your app store. It's just like open up an online bank account, okay? Go into your app store. I like E-Trade. They've been around for a while. And you just open it up and you connect it. Basically, you fill out some basic information, name, and then ask you a few questions about your income, blah, blah, blah. And you connect it to your bank account, okay? And when you connect it to your bank account, you just transfer some money in there, okay? And it's really a doorway to wealth. It's your ability to have ownership, right? In our country, you have to have ownership, and ownership gives you equity, and ownership gives you control, right? A brokerage account can do that for you, okay? So I was discussing with one of my friends. We both are homeowners, and we have equity in our houses. And, we've lived for a while. If you've probably been in your house longer than 5 years, you have probably a significant amount of equity in your house. And we were discussing, how do we get, he asked me a question. I've been in real estate for a long time. Actually just sold my last property last year. But he was like, how do I get access to this? I mean, it's a question that I think about also because, I don't have rental properties anymore. Now, majority of my wealth is in stocks in my brokerage account, but also in my residence, my house. And I was like, well, the only way you can get really money out of your house is, one is you can get equity line of credit, which is another bill. Things are already expensive, so I don't know why you want to add another bill. Unless you have another investment, you can find something that, equity line of credit could be 7+%, even more, I don't know. But then you have to find something that's going to earn you that. But the equity line of credit bill comes every month. So you have to find something that guarantees you payment every month. And this is not the season for guarantees. All right. This is the season. This is a season where you have to be on your P's and Q's and you have to be flexible. All right. But we're talking about going into your financial doorway, right? And I guess another way is you can refinance. Another way you can refinance your house. And if you refinance, I mean, 1-2%. We talked about our rates, which we got during the pandemic, and you have 1-2%. Like, why would you? I mean, it just didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. We'll probably never see those rates again. So the problem is, and the problem one reason why I decided to sell a lot of my property, the problem is that there's someone standing in my financial doorway. The banker, right? I got to go to the banker, ask him for a loan, and then I got to pay him an amount for that. And that's why I love a brokerage account so much, because I don't have to ask anybody but myself. I don't have to be disciplined, but I have to be disciplined with myself, right? To take out an equity line of credit, you have to be disciplined, right? And not spend that money on other things that are not going to bring you a return to pay that. Now, I built, full disclosure, I built my real estate portfolio. I had a pretty large portfolio, 20 plus doors, and I built it on, in the beginning, I used equity lines of credit, which is a good thing until I came across 2008. Yeah, so that was another story. And, luckily, things panned out for me. If you held properties back in from 2006 to now, you've done okay. Okay. But just going back to the point is that someone's standing in front of your financial doorway. And with a brokerage account, nobody's standing in front of you. You can build equity, right? You can start small, $20, $25 can start you off. And you do that on a weekly basis. And at the end of the year, and if you invested well, you can get with a stock club, investment club. I'm going to toot my own, First Fruits Investment Club, right? And start making some investments. That's what we're going to talk about today. So brokerage account, your doorway to wealth. It really is the key. Okay, well, I wanted to get it is the key to wealth in this country, the easiest key. All other keys, like I said, I've had real estate. You got to go get a loan, or if you have capital, yes, you can buy, but then that lowers your returns. Okay, so whole thing about real estate is having debt. If you have a business, you got to get a customer, right? You got to find a customer. You want to make more money in your job, you have to ask your boss for a raise. There's always somebody in that doorway, right? There's no one in your doorway, right? And the key to that is a brokerage account. All right, so we're going to go to the next section of the show, and that's the First Fruits Trinity. So the First Fruits Trinity is our club's the investment strategy. And man, this strategy is so vital to this time that we're in right now. I know people don't like dividends, and dividends have become a lost art, but dividends help you to iron out a market, a rough patch in a market like that we are in now. Okay. And if you do it correctly, you can find dividends that'll pay you high income. Okay. I know you look, a lot of you may say, well, it takes so much to do dividends. It's not true. There's dividends out there that will pay you high sums of money in a percentage that you invest, that'll give you a nice return. They're in the club. I put them in the club for you. So what you do is when you have those dividends, right? And you have the dividends, then we take it over to the brokerage account. Let's look at this. The Trinity, okay? So so what I did is I have my dividends and I take them over to my option account, okay? So these are the ideas. I call them ideas when I come across an idea that I think has an opportunity. These are the ideas that I put in, and I actually put these in today. I started out the year, and I'm gonna show you where I started. and where I ended up. But I started out today I started with Caterpillar. You know, see, when you invest, it's not only important about the stock, but it's about the environment. Okay. All right. So we're a faith-based club. So what happens in the market, sometimes in the market, there's a lot of faith in the market, which can produce fluff, right? People can look out, faith, you look out into a better future to where you are. And sometimes faith gets extended too far, right? Sometimes you have to bring that back to reality, okay? Caterpillar is a reality stock, okay? I still believe, and some of these other ideas that I have, I still believe that, and there are technology in some other places, but I still believe that technology, where we are now, in regards to everything runs, in regards to technology, everything runs, off of chips, off of technology, the way we interact with each other, with different social media apps, the way we do everything, right? Technology is a vital part of that. So what happens is with technology, that's one of those faith-driven investments, right? Because when you make an investment in technology, you usually lose a lot of money up front and you make money in the back end. So technology is front loaded, okay? So what happens is that companies may sometimes lose for years before they start making money, all right? But the stock market will have so much faith in it and say, we don't care how much you're earning right now. We know sometime in the future, I will make money, right? And that's called a multiple. Sometime in the future, I'll make money on a stock, sometime in the future. But what happens is, there's a song, I remember, I won't say that, but sometimes the stock market is like, where's the money? Show me the money. Like, show me the money. So I believe Caterpillar is a great stock for this town. And these are option plays. So the prices aren't prices for options are usually multiplied by 100. So if you see 4, it means 400. All right. You see 7, that means 700. Right. And then each contract, that's one contract, is 100 shares. Want more information about that? Going to the club. I'm actually tonight putting in how to put in the option play, and the if you use E-Trade or if any app, but I use mostly E-Trade, so I'm putting in how to do an option play. All right, so let's go on to the next segment here. So this is a segment I call God in Markets. Okay. And I'm missing a slide. Anyway. So, God in markets. Okay. So, I know people, this is a faith-based, okay, investment club. And I believe that God has his hand in everything. I know you're crazy. He doesn't have anything. But I just want you to look at some things. And when you see things, I just want you to think about it, okay? All right? You have to, whatever you do, if you want to invest or whatever you do in life, you have to have an edge, right? The Trinity, my formula is a biblical-based formula. It's based on having an edge. And hey, you can have your own formula. You can do whatever you want. And we'll see throughout time if I'm successful, and which I have been, and I'm gonna show you some of the success that I've had. I showed it to him, to show you two at the end. But the Trinity, so if you look at, this is March 1st, 2022. I do not like sixes. And if you read in the Bible, sixes have two things. It means imperfection in man, Okay. It also is a sign of the beast, right? When I see it in markets, and it's just my opinion, you can take it for whatever it is. My opinion is sixes stand for fear in the market. Okay? Fear in the market. I had a slide in here where I was. I hope I didn't record this without any audio. Oh my goodness. Anyway, God in market. So I don't like sixes. I don't like them, you know. And sixes is a biblical number also, right? Signs of man's imperfections, as well as the sign of the beast. Okay. So when I look at markets, okay, I believe sixes stand for fear in the markets. Okay. So whenever I see sixes, I then start to do a little deep dive in what's going on. And we can just go back to March 1st, 2022. And the Dow Jones hit 666. I was like, what in the world? It was crazy, right? From this point, I'm missing a slide, but the market went down, and I think it went down for another 2,000 to 3,000 points, maybe 4,000 points after that. Okay, and it was one of those downtrends, one of those bear hit into the market. People got scared, right? And once again, the NASDAQ was even worse. And we know that, like I said, technology, a lot of faith can go into technology where people extend out and say, hey, look, you know, we don't need to make money right now, but sometime in the future, we may possibly make money. Well, this is one of those times where faith got extended, and sometimes you have to come back to reality. You know, what the saying is, faith without works is dead. Okay. So, the next scene that I was going to show you guys is how whatever goes on, whatever fears in the market, this was one of the greatest opportunities you could have had to purchase stocks in the market. I think Nvidia was selling under a couple of $100. This is before any of the splits. Facebook was under $200. I think it was crazy. It was a great time. I was able to acquire and kind of build out my portfolio, not the way I wanted it because I was still in real estate. But I've since sold, and since I'm fully invested in the market, and I'm building this club. So I just want you, when you see sixes in the market, and even if you're in business, okay, all right, now sevens stand for something different, okay? Sevens stand for something different. Let me see if you guys can bear with me for a second. I'm missing a scene. Okay. So let's see if I can. I apologize to you guys, but I really want you to see the ending of this. And let's see. Okay. Anyway, so the last scene that I wanted to show you is that if you looked at that period of time, sixes, and you got out of the market, you missed an opportunity. Okay. You missed your doorway, your financial doorway. You missed the opportunity. So what I want you to do is, I don't want you guys to miss where we are now in the markets. Okay? So if you say, I don't have experience, join the club. Okay? Get experience. I've had members now, and I'll had some testimonials, of course, that came in and basically almost earned their whole year of their fees in one play. Okay. So, but anyway, whether you join my club or some other club, this is a great opportunity to get in the market. Okay. When stocks are down, when the news is bad, right? You cannot rely on one source of income. This is not that season. Like, you know, they had a party season and you could relax and you could do what you want with your money. This is not that season. This is a season that you can build a strong foundation. All right? Don't miss out on this season. All right? So I totally destroyed my plan today, but that's okay. Sometimes plans get messed up. But I just say to you guys, you know, don't miss out, okay? Use the key, open a brokerage account. Don't talk yourself out of it. You know, you get busy watching Netflix or something else and you say, well, I'm gonna do it, and you never do it. Open a brokerage account. It'll take you 5 minutes, right? Right? You can lose tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars by not taking action on this simple tool over time, okay? I'm not saying you're gonna make that right away. I just showed you some of my results. I'm saying that if you decide to move forward, right? Then you'll be thankful, okay? And like I said, you can't depend on one source of income. Hey, my name is Donald Green. I'm the founder of the First Fruit Stock Club. My video skills still have much desire for, but I'm working on it. And next week, I promise you it'll be better. Next week, I'll be back next week with a special show, and I'm going to discuss your money personality. Okay, so hope you guys, hey, be fruitful. All right, be fruitful. Hope you guys have a fruitful rest of the week, and I thank you for giving me a piece of your time. Bye-bye.